All right, here's part 2 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 6 reunion part 1. So we just spoke about Treasure and Tommy and all of Tommy's woes. So we're about to jump into the next part where Nina focuses on Dime versus Tommy versus Mimi. Lovely Mimi, excuse me. Dime says Lovely Mimi talks too much and she's loud. So basically they want to hash out why that Dime and Tommy get into it. Dime's whole position is don't take up for another grown woman when you don't know what's going on. And I agree with that. But then Tommy's position is don't hash out your bullshit at my event. I agree with that as well. What is your stance on that situation?
I think it's two extremely, I guess, alpha females, if you will. Both of them with street lingo that are never, I don't think they're ever going to be great friends.
No.
Both of them had a point. I think when Rashida got both of them together and they sat down, you kind of realized, oh, well, they just can't talk around each other.
No, because the whole, you could get this work, or I won't get this work. It seemed like Dime wanted to fight, and it seemed like Tommy thought she could sneak that shit in there.
Yeah, somebody, she tried to sneak it in. A lesser opponent, if you will, wouldn't have caught it.
No.
But she's dealing with somebody who comes from the same type of environment as her, so they don't let things like that go.
And I love Dime's glow up. Dime this season has impressed me. I love her. I would watch her in her own show.
Yeah, she actually needs her own show. I wouldn't be surprised that
I don't want her on this anymore.
Yeah, you really want to see her growth because her growth is what you expected from Jocelyn.
There you go, exactly.
She's got get rid of the pink hair.
Can I be honest with you?
And we're good to go.
Can I be honest with you about something?
Yeah, sure, of course.
I'm so disrespectful. That is my shit. That one, Nickel and Dime.
Nickel and Dime was
Nickel
and that was
Dime.
me.
Okay, so on Twitter, they were talking about a bunch of her songs on YouTube, and people were sharing them like, oh my god, I didn't know she had good music, even though her rapping could use some improvement. The songs themselves are really well produced and all that, and the videos were great. The Nickel and Dime video was the shit. She had on those big silver earrings, those big silver shoes. Okay, anyway. So Lovely Mimi starts. A
great transition into Basketball Wives.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm not mad at that. I could see that. And plus, I want Dime to go on there, be friends with Evelyn, beat the shit out of Jackie Christie.
Well, I was talking about elevation, but we can go in that direction too. If Jackie
you never forget where you came from.
Out, you know.
But anyway, we'll get into that shit. But you just don't call somebody's daughter a build a whore. Anyway, that's not okay. So
no,
anyway,
it's not. But
we'll
funny.
stay on Love and Hip Hop.
TV.
That's not good TV.
No.
Lovely Mimi Raggedy Ass starts acting out, knowing security is there. I don't like that. I don't think that Lovely Mimi would have done that to Dime if they were just in a room together. I don't think that at all. And then on top of that, she didn't even hear what the issue was. She immediately... Okay, so yeah. I don't know why Lovely Mimi was acting out like that, but I hate that. So she didn't even hear what Dime was trying to say. So basically Dime was saying, it didn't have to be no problems until Lovely Mimi started talking all loud and acting all big and bad. What I didn't like was that instead of Lovely Mimi just saying, well, I was just this or that, or I said it because it needed to be said, or whatever the case may be, she started saying, you got a problem with me, you got a problem. I hated that. It really got on my nerves. And can we just talk about the appropriation thing? I hate it. Stop, just be yourself. And I don't feel like that's herself, because we see moments where she's extremely normal, toned down, funny. She's still hood, but she's just not that extra, you got a problem. I hate that. Like, stop. Like, I don't like that. And I wish this show had never given her any shine. She already had a lot of Twitter followers or Instagram followers, which is why the show recruited her, was to build their following. But they could have done without that person.
Yeah, you have to have more on your resume than getting people to follow you on a social media platform.
She was stupid. I hated her. And then, not only that, but as she jumps up and talking, Dime goes, girl, you know they weren't going to let you get over that table, girl. That killed me. I love Dime. Dime is funny. Dime is real funny. And Dime was honest about that, because she knew that they wouldn't let her over the table, which is why Dime didn't jump all up doing all the crazy shit. What she did say, however, was, you jumping up looking like a majorette. And so for the moment, there was like a delay. And then I looked at Lovely Mimi, and she did look like a majorette. She looked so crazy. And I'm not one to body shame because I have my own weight issues. I'm about 60 pounds overweight. I need to lose weight, this, that, and the other. Knowing that I'm 60 pounds overweight, my comfort level with certain clothes isn't going to be what it once was. So I commend people who still have, like, who are daring to go out there and put on clothes and wear certain things with certain body types. That's great for you. I just wouldn't for myself, just because I want to look nice when I put on these clothes, as well as feel like I look nice. You know what I mean? So it looked like she felt like she looked nice, so that's the goal, and that's great. But I probably, if I were styling her, I would have put her in something else that complemented her body well. That outfit did not complement her body at all. At all. And it was really Dangerously in Love tour. That's Beyonce's tour. Those outfits look very much like the Dangerously in Love tour outfits. I didn't really, and those were nice then, but that was way back in 2006. so 2017, we don't want to go back that route. But I'll just say this: Lovely Mimi looked a hot ass mess. What did you think about her majorette outfit?
The outfit was horrible. In her defense, fashion is cyclical, so it does always come back around. I think 2017 was wasn't the year for the 2005 outfit. Yeah.
Okay.
I think she is a clown. I think they need to find someone that has a real storyline. There are millions of people in Atlanta. There are millions of people sleeping with...
I want them to stop putting them all on the show, because you see they have Treasure now. They have...
but Treasure's from Houston.
What's that dude? Well, I mean, on this show, though, on Atlanta. And then they have this... And I hate that she's from Houston, too, by the way. I hate anybody from Texas that go on TV acting their ass and not cute.
They can't fight. That's the weirdest thing.
And won't fight either. She knows. Well, I guess if you know you can't fight, do something different. But dare to be different. But she had... it was her, and then you have... Ryder, what's the guy? Shooter, and his wife actually made me feel bad. That whole situation was just like sad. And then you got Shooter, and then you got the little loudmouth girl that I hate. She wouldn't shut up. Nina finally was like, look, be quiet, let me finish. All of them, I hate them so much. That whole storyline didn't have to be there. From what I heard, the rumor is that they were going to take a lot of the Atlanta people and put them in Miami to jumpstart Love and Hip Hop Miami, along with Trick Daddy and Trina, and some other people there. But that didn't pan out. So what they planned on doing was firing the cast or moving them to Miami, moving the ones they wanted to Miami, firing the rest of the people, and then having a whole new Love and Hip Hop Atlanta show. So they were testing out the storyline. What they did was they put too much right up front and it fizzled out. And then on top of that, they give you this the 13-year-old boy with the blonde hair thing. She was weird. I hated her. Anybody who glorifies being a side chick is lame. It's just lame.
Absolutely.
All right, so Dime versus Tammy, all I put, literally my notes say yelling. That's it. Like, it was just yelling. Like, the whole time, Dime was talking about them yelling, about them arguing, and I hate that scene that they keep replaying of Tammy picking up that Tammy picking up that glass, because at the end of the day, she hesitated long enough for the security to grab her arm, and it was so obvious. She said, girl, like, Tammy, stop. First of all, don't get on this show acting like these hoodwinks. Like, don't do that. Or hoodwinks, hood rats. Like, don't do that. I hate it. But furthermore, if you're gonna fight Dime, fight Dime. Don't throw no glass at her. And you right next to her, like you were one person away from her. Both of y'all could have just, and get Mimi in that shit too. Beat her up too, because I hate Mimi. But they all could have just fought and rumbled. And
honestly, when somebody is about to fight and when they're not.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, she gonna fight.
Yeah, she's not gonna do all that
Stevie
bullshit.
J, the late great Benzino, they were gonna fight.
He's not dead. He out there making crab legs. I want to go to Atlanta and get some of the crab legs.
Love and Hip Hop, not
I've heard
because
those crab legs
deceased.
are good. Tamar Braxton said Benzino crab legs are good. They need to bring him back. They need to get rid of all these new people, except for Dime. Give Dime her own show and put Benzino back on the show. I want to see that. Even maybe get rid of Jocelyn, make her a friend of the cast.
That'd be great. I think what they're doing now is reality is we're getting up there. So
yeah,
with us doing more things with life and business, and people our age doing more with kids, we don't have as much time to give to Love and Hip Hop, where the 21-year-olds who are side chicks and who wear blonde wigs and look like 15-year-old boys, they have all the time in the world. So they're putting people on this show to appeal to that younger audience. Okay. And that's fine, but don't take Love and Hip Hop Atlanta away. Give them their own platform.
That's what I say. Give them their own little raggedy show. Okay, so then we move into Tommy versus Carly. My first note is Carly is so lame. She always has been. I knew Carly was lame from season 1 when she shook that table with not Rashida. What's her name? Very special. Yeah, K. Michelle. Her. But then we'll get back to that later. But then Carly was so lame even back then when they were at the reunion and her and Carly. I'm sorry, her and what is her name? K. Michelle were arguing back and forth. And she goes, "You look like the bottom of my shoe." What the hell does that even mean? Like, girl, bye. But then this whole cat and mouse thing between Tommy and Carly was funny. And the reason it was funny is because of Tommy. Tommy clearly let me know, I don't love none of the niggas that you chasing. And you love these guys, or you really into these guys, and I'm just having fun with them just to mess with you. And that made me laugh. I don't condone it, and I didn't like it. I didn't like her doing that, but I was very fond of the way she spoke about it.
Hilarious is what it was. Hilarious.
Did you see her licking her tongue out?
You see Jock in the middle. He's one of the guys.
Yeah, and you see him in the middle, like, I mean, it is what it is. But then Tommy ceases, no pun intended, she ceases all the nonsense by saying, "I don't like the dick that she chooses." What? But then, whenever later on Carly claims that she went to Caesar's house where Tommy was, and she was outside trying to get Tommy to come out so she could fight her. Right. I don't think she even believed that dumbass story. No. But then she says Tommy wouldn't come outside. But then she said, "Well, I had to go pick up Caesar to take him to my house because he don't have a car in Atlanta." And then Tommy, so quick with the wit, comes back and says, "Again, look at the dick you choose." First of all, I like Caesar, so don't do Caesar like that. But Jock said that he and Tommy were friends. Tommy confirmed that as well, but he doesn't want to tame a certain type of woman. I like the way he worded that. He said he's low key and he don't want to spend time taming that certain type of woman. And she was right there with him. Because she is extremely loud. No, seriously. And then at one point, Carly and Tommy are just kind of going back and forth. But then Tommy throws a pillow, just like, "Shut up." She throws a pillow at Carly. And Carly goes, "Ooh, you're shaving the pillow." And I was sitting there like, what a lame.
Circa Love and Hip Hop season 2.
2007?
I'm not even going to try and guess the year.
2009? I don't even remember when that.
K. Michelle made the same joke when she shook the table. So
yeah,
it was embarrassing. And
it was season 1, Carly.
I think that.
And it was at you. It was at you.
But with that being said, Carly Red is the only person with all these extremely boring storylines, and nobody really likes her. But her longevity be there every year.
Yeah, it's because they need somebody to dump on. Yeah. But yeah, basically in a nutshell, I just see that Tommy gets Carly shook all the way. Like Carly, and then they were going back and forth. And at one point, Tommy goes, "What's the beef?" And she goes, "There's no beef." Carly, you were messing with Scrap De Leon behind Tommy's back. And now that she's messing with Jock to piss you off, you were mad about it on the show, but now there's no beef. Like, say there's beef if there's beef. I thought there was beef if you're at Caesar's house trying to fight her. Why isn't there beef that goes along with it? You just go around fighting Caesar's women? Like, anyway, her and Duchess, as far as the fighting, they go right in the same boat, but I would like to see Duchess mace Carly.
Nah,